Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I am LRock617 here to help us close out the comic block. First of a few games we're starting today. I've run this in a fair number of marathons, including our Dr. D event earlier this month. This here, for those that are unfamiliar, is called X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. It's a Capcom side-scroller for the Super Nintendo, brought to you by the same developers of the Mega Man X titles. So there's a lot of sprite similarities, music similarities between the two franchises. I have a bevy of characters to use, which we'll go ahead and get started now. We're going to start with the menu, and sorry, didn't hit the hit the start button, not the space bar. Sorry about that. Alright, now we can officially start. The first thing you'll notice is that we have a full character select screen of characters. For each of the 5 characters, we start the game by having to complete a stage that's specific to that character. Similar to how Mega Man works, you have 8 stages that you can complete in any order you wish. Same thing applies here. You just have to complete a specific stage per character, but it doesn't matter what order you go in. I'm just going to go in the order I've always gone in when I've done speedruns of this game. So that means I'm going to start with Psylocke. First thing to note about this game, every character has an extended move list because Street Fighter was really big for Capcom at the time. So a lot of the move sets in this game are based on directional inputs like you'd see in games like that. For example, the knee that you saw there from Psylocke is done as a Dragon Punch. That Psychic Knife is done as a Fireball. This is interesting already. Going for a grouping strat there. Lucky he jumped. Those are 2 moves you're going to see quite a bit of. Jabs are used to start combos. That was actually scary. Psylocke also has an obnoxiously high jump, so she can platform very, very well. Go ahead and move over here. Unfortunate. Got some very bad luck there. This guy's really mean when he decides to be on the ground. You only want him to stay airborne, so that way his hitboxes are going to miss you most of the time. Slide all the way. The slide you've also seen quite a bit throughout this stage, just to point this out. This move doesn't do very much damage, but it's incredibly fast and it moves really far. So you use it primarily for movement. That down. Yeah, most of what you see out of her as far as actual combat is the knee. The knee is just such a strong move, especially in terms of the amount of damage it does. For our Sentinel boss, hoping for some good luck here. He didn't move to the left, so that's actually great. We're just going to perform these series of head stomps. And that's going to finish off our first level. Appreciate the updates there, Nate. For our second stage, I prefer to move to Gambit. Very, very, very fun character. He has a wide range of moves. This is just a pure cinematic, but it's really cool. Primary move we're going to be using is this scissors kick. Very much in the vein of M. Bison, except you can spam it. It's a primary form of movement, and it does really good damage at the same time. So it has a lot of uses here, including getting across this chasm. I'm actually going to remain quiet here because I want to make sure I can do this correctly. This section's really bad if things go wrong. Okay. Scariest thing in the run is that section exactly right there. If you miss one jump or one flip, you're just going to fall and die. Of course, being a beat-em-up style game, we're going to have this elevator. jump-in combo. Gambit's jump-in hit is incredibly useful. It doesn't cause knockdown, so you can just do it as a combo starter, and it's really good. That guy down. Throw a card that way. So this barrel we're going to set off to destroy a row of enemies that are going to appear. There's actually an advanced level speed strat you can use with that barrel that saves as much as 5 to 6 seconds, but it's incredibly hard to do. I've only been able to get it in practice myself. I think I discovered that about 2 years ago. It involves causing the explosion to land on the ground at the exact moment that the elevator opens. Really hard. It's like I think it's both frame and pixel perfect because it determines how you hit the barrel and what time you hit the barrel. Really strange. So for our boss, we have a very unconventional Contra-style boss that requires us to be able to throw these cards upward, be able to do damage. We have to destroy all these turrets. Their firing rate and positions are completely random. We have no control over that, so we just have to keep throwing and hope for the best. Got some pretty good luck there, so we're going to take out the pilot. That's going to move us on. Did Capcom have a Contra wannabe? I can't remember. On to Wolverine. This is actually probably my favorite stage of the first 5. It's essentially a Ninja Gaiden stage. We're going to be doing a lot of climbing. Flip this guy. We won't see him again. I'm just going to jump over this guy and just make him not even a factor. Now that we can position ourselves underneath that platform, we're just going to cut through these dudes. Don't jump, please. Thank you. Alright, now comes the climb. Lots of pretty radical position jumping here. Up this way. Land, dash our way into our mini-boss. There's actually a couple of strats here. One, I believe, involves position manipulation that forces him to shoot a missile at you and gives you the best possible luck. I think it might be the fast way to finish him off, but I haven't quite learned it yet, so I just have a specific sequence of moves that I use. If he walks at you like he did, then you can just finish him off with the same set of moves every single time. Dive on that guy, we'll never see him again, and dive our way into the boss. Alright, for this Sentinel, pretty simple stuff. We're just going to do these dive hits. There's no RNG here. We just have to make sure we execute it properly. These mooks can be annoying, but they can be mitigated pretty easily, as you can see. Sadly, that's the last time we're going to see Wolverine through my run. On to the character that we're going to be seeing a lot of here, Dr. Hank McCoy. Beast is very overpowered in this game, to put it mildly. Which is interesting because he has the shortest move list, but he also has the most effective and powerful move list. That being the trade-off, I guess. Of course, they probably didn't anticipate him being as good as he is. More like just a bunch of design mistakes. For example, this headbutt that I'm doing is amazing. Like it's not only good for movement, it's also great for damage. This guy's being a troll. At close range, it does its damage double. So it can effectively combo into itself. Very good finish there on the mini-boss. I had to remain quiet there. That mini-boss fight is really complicated if he doesn't give you patterns that you want. We'll walk up and hit this guy. Don't want him interfering. Short little climb here. Have to wait those out. It's unfortunate. The little cube there is designed to be a pest. Here we have a boss. Just a few sentinels. Goofed it. Alright. So we're going to finish it off with a similar combo in each one. If I can position it correctly. Definitely making some mistakes here. Wow, can't hit anything today. Yeah. Apparently I'm really bad at this today. Oh well. We got our air guitar pose, and that's all that matters. We're going to talk more about Beast there. He's but we'll be seeing a lot more of him. It's just, that level is just so weird and complex. There's a lot of weird timing sequences that have to go with the movement and the navigation that you're making through the stage. And I'm pretty much only talking about him at this point because now I'm playing Cyclops, who's not only the worst character, but he's also the least interesting. He has Optic Blast, and that's about it. Really doesn't have much to offer. They do a lot of damage. They're going to take out these gun bikes in one hit at a time. But effectively for combat with Cyclops, that's really all you're using. His normal attacks aren't very good. His jab is terrible. His jump kick is reasonable, but it knocks down. So it's just worse than Psylocke, which also knocks down, but has a longer active hitbox. And he just really doesn't have any good movement. He has a slide, but it's a short-range slide that does multiple hits. Take the bridge out there. Great cinematic moment. We're going to jump these guys to try to stab us. The weird thing is, the primary form of movement you're going to see is this jumping animation, which all I'm doing is just jumping. Nothing particularly special about it. Doing it because it scrolls the screen faster than him walking would. Move on over this way. Get a few more tiny swaths of enemies before we come to our boss. Boss, much like Cyclops, is also fairly interesting. It's just this train. We're going to try and shoot down the engine. Takes 6 optic blasts. Solid fight there. Faster you kill it, the better time you're going to have. And I know that sounds redundant to say in a speed run, but for the train, that's actually important because the train builds up momentum very quickly. So if you take too long to stop it, then it's just going to take longer to like wind down and stop, so you just lose additional time. Alright, past our initial 5 stages. For the rest of the game, we're going to have stages that, up until the very last sequence, are going to be exactly the same for any character, no matter which we choose. So we're just going to choose the best character for any given stage. For this stage, there are actually 2 characters that work very well. I did not mean to do that in additional time. That's on me. Alright, give me a second. I actually have to do some maintenance here. Slid one too many times and missed the jump. It happens. We'll just continue moving on. So Wolverine is also excellent in this stage. His route is a bit more, it's a bit more complicated than Psylocke, who just slides through the whole stage and doesn't have to care about anything, as long as you're making your jumps. She's good on the trucks when you can make the jumps in one bound. Just had a minor mistake there. Either way, we're going to slide past these Broodmites, on into our boss. This is actually one of my least favorite bosses in the game, because the first portion is execution intensive and you don't want to miss anything. And I just did. Because, for some reason, the game registered a forward input. And this is bad. Do not like. Okay. I can work with this, but this still isn't a good position to be in. I'm actually going to let her come forward here. One of the reasons this fight is so complex is because she'll continue to move in and out like that. That was really bad. As soon as we got in there, we got knee instead of psychic knife. How that's supposed to go, you're supposed to go psychic knife, knee, knife, and then 2 knees. That not only destroys the claw, but it also does the optimal damage that you need to go into phase 2. Missing any time off that is not conducive to having a good run, so very unfortunate that happened there. But we'll move past that. For the rest of the stages in the game, we're going to be playing as Beast. That was supposed to cling. What's going on here? Got a little bit of a lag bomb here. Unfortunate. Missed the ceiling cling, but we're going to move right on to Tusk. This stage is effectively just a boss fight. That was actually a tremendous start. Getting hit by that guillotine is actually great, because that gives us iframes that we need to be able to just finish him like so. Pretty excellent Tusk fight there for sure. Sometimes at the start of the round he can give you bad luck and do his crouch move, which goes under the headbutt. Definitely not what you want. On to the namesake stage. Here we have the 16-bit version of Heartman stage. From Mega Man 3, because that's just exactly what it looks like to me. I don't know if that's actually canon, probably isn't, but certainly looks like it to me. You could also make the same argument for, like, you know, Armored Armadillo, etc. We'll move on up. Little corridor mission there with the headbutts. All these cell 19s. We're going to go ahead and do this jump in. A double kill. That double kill is actually hard because on the first guy you actually have to delay the combo that you use to finish him off. That wasn't supposed to happen. Ooh, if I had gotten hit there, that would have been real bad. There's lava chasing us, so we have to get up here quickly. Alright, on to our boss, Apocalypse. As mentioned, the game's namesake. Go ahead and see what we can get here. There is a one cycle we can do, which I'm going to go for. This Jump Punch Infinite. Didn't get it. Which I normally don't, so it wasn't all that surprising. But it was still a good stage nonetheless. Corridors worked well. I got the double kill I needed. Not too terrible. Next two stages are just boss fights. Like, actually just go into the danger room. We're going to fight a boss. Exactly as simple as that. First we have Omega Red. We'll walk over to the other side to try to get him to leave. Didn't work. That's okay. We can just combo him. What we're hoping for by standing on the left side is that he'll spawn himself on the left so that we can just hit him right away. And perfect luck. Good days. No complaints there. Sometimes he'll go all the way over to the right side, which is completely off screen, or just go to the right when you're on the left, and that doesn't work either. So, neither of those situations are good, and you don't want them. Following Omega Red, we're going to have a boss battle with Juggernaut, who has one of my favorite sprites in this game. The Juggernaut sprite looks incredible. I'm definitely a fan. One cycle combo I'm going to go for here that involves some manipulation, and I missed the jump input, so now we just have to play this fight as we would normally play it. It's going to be really bad. Okay, at least got the manip, even though I missed the opening. Missing that jump input is bad. This game does have issues with dead frames, where if you input your jump input, for example, during a move, whether it be like a jump punch or a ground move or anything, you're not going to get the jump. So that's never good. Alright, that was rude. Never want him to appear in front of you. So, on to the hardest stage in the run. Here we have Avalon. This stage is just bad luck hell, for the most part. Especially when stuff like that happens. These Acolyte soldiers are the real issue here. They're pretty much the bread and butter story that we have going on here. They can just appear in front of you just like that while you're trying to headbutt and kill your momentum. Pretty bad. So we have a double boss stage here. First we're going to have Exodus, who actually dies at half health as opposed to full health. Managed to catch him on the left side, though, and that was cool. With using the Jump Punch Infinite that we used on Apocalypse, we can finish him off pretty quickly. You just have to make sure you get him to the ground. That's the only hard part. That was almost really bad. This game really wants me to play by its rules, doesn't it? That and I'm just missing inputs, which is always an issue with this game. Got bamboozled there. Oh well. We'll just finish it up. Tend to want to take the top route, but sometimes the game's really mean. Because those Acolytes are incredibly random. For our boss here, we're just going to go for a head stomp kill. Not too bad. Took 2 cycles, but I definitely got there. Okay. For our endgame, Snicker. Here we have Magneto, the actual final boss. Looking ripped as ever. I go ahead and crouch in the corner. Of course, he's going to do Construction Zone. That's so mean. Okay, so Magneto's a jerk. He has a lot of invincibility. Essentially, anytime he has shield on, you can't touch him. You have to wait until he attacks you to be able to do anything. And he can do that in 1 of 2 different ways. He can throw those metal shards at you, which we refer to as Construction Zone. And then he has this pink orb, which is significantly easier to dodge. Just bounce off that there. Not too bad. Gonna be time once I get the last hit on him. Essentially all we're doing, as I mentioned before, just wait until his iframes go away and then just hit him with a combo like I did there. It's also important to make sure you stop the shards as they're coming at you like I'm doing. Otherwise you're gonna get clipped, you're gonna hit the ground, you're gonna lose a ton of time. 1 more cycle should do it. Not too bad. 1823. That'll finish that off. I really wish there was more about to talk about with the final fight. It's such an epic fight in terms of like the scope of the game and of course the music that goes with it. But the actual tactics you have to use just really kind of fall short of being super interesting, just because it's 80% invincibility. Like Magneto just flies around and acts like a jerk just because he can. Not much doing there. But that being said, we can all see Magneto's amazing biceps there, and thank you so much all for the GGs. This cool little ending sequence here, though. What's cool is that every X-Men in this instance has different dialogue with Magneto, and they're all per their character. Like, they all read off like things that you would expect that character to say. Like, Gambit's saying doesn't sound like what Psylocke would say. Lots of other steps, yeah, I feel ya. Alright, everybody, hope you all enjoyed that, and thank you so much for checking out this X-Men SNES game. It's actually a great game, one of the better Marvel games on the SNES. I'd put it up there with Maximum Carnage, personally. But for now, we've got some more X-Men to move on to. We'll be playing through some X-Men Arcade, and I will be back with you shortly.